All right, what's poppin', Tub Nation? Welcome back to Tub Takes. This is a VGC video podcast where I go over what's making waves in the VGC scene. Today, I am not joined by my co-host Adi because Adi couldn't make this time, which is fine because we've got two lovely, lovely guests here. We have Raghav coming off of winning the Grand Champions Festival. How you doing?
Yo, 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 what's good? I'm doing great. Can't complain. Been a busy week, but a very good one.
Yeah, I imagine that it's a bit of an adjustment, going from winning the biggest tournament of all time just to returning back to normal life.
Yeah, there's also just like it's the content grind, you know. I got an
Yeah.
actual job. I'm not gonna talk about that, but then also just the Pokemon content grind, it never stops, dude.
I mean, we're still so early into champions, and everything's just so exciting with it. So that part is awesome. And we're still we've been playing Scarlet Violet for so long, and I'm sure Sanvy, you are loving it. Playing some Scarlet and Violet quite well this weekend. You got top four over in Prague. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Not as good as Raghav because I had to play Regulation I this weekend.
Yeah, I do want to hear about, how you managed to stay locked in on that part because I honestly I need that advice myself. Raghav as well because we're both going
Yeah.
to LA. We're going to need to hear how you did it when, Champions is this really cool new shiny thing and way anyways. Um anyway, I'll finish the intro here really quick and then let's go ahead and launch right into it. So, if you're here now, but you're not going to be able to catch the end, or if you'd rather just watch this on YouTube, it's going to be on Adi's YouTube channel tomorrow, CK49. At least I hope so. I haven't confirmed it with Adi, but he probably will be posting it still, despite not being here. And then, as well as if you have any questions for our guests, do leave them in the Twitch chat, and I will be keeping an eye on it as we go along. With that, our first subject today is actually just the upcoming global challenge. Wait, that's the other part of it. This part. We can get to that in a second. Um, but yeah, the upcoming global challenge is this weekend, and notably for us, it's not for points for all three of us on the call here. That is, players that compete for championship points to qualify for the world championships. This one just isn't for points. I don't know when we're gonna get the remaining few that we are playing for points. I don't know how that's going to work, but Japan, Korea, and Taiwan are all using this one to qualify for the World Championships. That said, though, it'll still be a lot of fun, a lot of glory on the line. Sanvi, are you thinking about playing in this one or no?
I'm not sure because in Champions I'm not feeling so good.
You gotta
and
get the
I and
practice.
I don't have a team. Also, big thing.
Okay, okay. I
But
mean,
maybe.
there's still time, and notably, I think this time around, as long as you, or I think you can just sign up at any point now, right? I think that's
Yeah, I
how it.
think in the one they previously made the warm-up challenge, I think was called. You could sign up later as the competition already started, which was a thing in the 3DS era, but then they stopped doing it. And
Mm-hmm.
now, at least for that global for the that warm-up challenge, you could just sign up on Saturday whenever.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be the same for this one and all the future competition held on Champions, but I don't know. I haven't read all the sign-up conditions and all of that.
Right. Victory Road has it mentioned on their page here, right here. It says signups are open from the 24th of April until May 4th when the tournament ends. So yeah, that is pretty cool that you can just sign up at any time. You can also lock in your team and then unlock it if you do it early. But at this point, because you can sign up late, there isn't really a merit to signing up with your team until you're basically ready to start finding a battle, I guess, like until you're ready to play your first game you might as well just take as long as you need. It'll definitely be a funny shakeup. Like you said, we had this way in the past, but I don't know. The game has grown so much bigger since then that I'm sure a lot of people are used to the system that we had in Scarlet and Violet, where you had to lock in beforehand. But now, not only is it nice that you can change your team, but you can also sign up late. It does add some weird elements, like, what if I was like, looking at Colin and Raghav as like two people running different teams in the global challenge, and I was like, I don't know which one to run. They're running Charizard and Blastoise, and then Raghav does really well and Colin does really poorly, and I'm like, I'll run Raghav's team. Like it's just you can kind of do stuff like that. You can watch like a streamer like, oh, Wolf's streaming his GC run. I'm just gonna steal his team and try it. Like there's some funny elements to it like that.
Yeah, I think
And that's
that's. Sorry, go
Sorry, here,
ahead.
yeah,
Raghav, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say I think that's a really good change personally for me at least. Just because I have a tough time deciding on teams very quickly, and I think it's not gonna change up like too much.
Right.
There'll probably be a little bit different. Especially you can start playing later, scouting like that. But the tournaments are just so dang big that I don't think it's really gonna matter. I think it's just a positive change to be able to, lock in later. But also, like you said, if you manage to lock in a team before the tournament starts, you can change it. And I think that's a very, very big one.
Oh, that one's so good. Yeah. Sandy, what are your thoughts?
Um, on regarding on scouting, I'm in the same boat as Raghav. Sure, you can scout whichever whichever of your friends does well with your team, or you could watch streams to understand the meta and try to counter. But what you're seeing is just a small percentage of what's actually of who's actually playing in the tournament. So you could
Totally.
see somebody streaming, then they play 15 Charizard, and you're like, awesome, I'm gonna use my Tyranitar team, and you play 15 Sneasels. Probably they're gonna probably be on the same team. I think you get my point. Other
Yes.
than that, the changing team is weird. I don't know how I feel about that one. You can just change your team mid competition. For example, you can
Wait,
run
can
your
you?
Charizard team.
No, no,
You
no.
can't.
It's
No,
only
you can't do
before the
that. You can't
tournament
do that.
starts.
Okay,
Only
That would be
so
before. Oh,
crazy.
that would be wild. That would be wild.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. I think
I,
it says it says you can cancel the registration and lock a new team again up until the time the tournament starts. Once the tournament starts,
okay,
you can't unsubmit any teams basically. You can
okay,
sign up late
okay.
though.
So
You can
that
sign up late.
okay,
Um,
okay. So that's basically as it used to be, but not
yes.
really. If you're planning to sign up late, just sign up late with the team you're eventually gonna use, I think.
Yes.
But it's a good change. I remember some guy in one GC of Scarlet and Violet. They locked the team with no items and realized the midway through. So hopefully something like this won't happen as often as
Mm-hmm.
I mean really mistakes
Right.
like this. Also because people are playing this for real stuff. I know if I'm not mistaken, like this counts for Japanese national qualification. If I'm not mistaken, I think
Yeah.
I've read it somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I
So
hopefully I've got the screen share here going, but for
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, you
Japan,
know.
Korea, and Taiwan, it is their qualifiers. I actually, it's so sad that Adi's not here because this is exactly what Adi was wanting regarding NAIC. Because it says here in Taiwan, if signups, I know Raghav, I was thinking about it because we had Cybertron on last week as well. Two
Yeah.
prominent players that did not make it into NAIC 2 weeks in a row. But first, this is the thing that Adi wanted to see happen, or something close to it. It says in Taiwan, if signups for the Master Ball League exceed capacity, the top players in the global challenge are given priority. This is kind of like what Adi wanted, is he just wanted like the top whatever 1,300 players like get priority for signing up for NAIC, whatever their capacity is, because
Yeah.
it would not be a sweat for any person that's shooting for a world's invite, basically. Like like you can make it to top 1,300 or whatever. um in And then like there will also probably be people that make top 1,300 but aren't going to NAIC, so it carries down whatever. But I don't know exactly how they would do that system, but this is basically the same system that Adi would he keeps trying to pitch. Taiwan is
Yeah.
doing exactly that.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. I think a system like that could be cool, but there's always gonna be issues where it's like,
Of course.
dude, it's best of one closed sheet. It's not even the format we're gonna play at the tournament. So I think that we have to think about it, but I mean obviously I'm okay with that right now because I didn't get in, so I'd be happy with that. But yeah, this tournament's gonna be like super sweaty. I'm probably still gonna play just anyway, just to get practice.
Right.
Even though there's no points on the line, I might not like try and win the whole thing because I think that's gonna be really really hard. But these qualifications make the global challenge always like absolutely crazy. We're gonna see like 500 Japanese players at the top for sure.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's gonna be so like all the tricks are gonna be coming out. It's gonna be such great content to watch this one. I should mention
Yeah.
really quick um, that Tub is putting together a marathon stream of a bunch of different people streaming in a row. The thing is that Audie's doing most of the organization for that one, and I was like, I think we could just do 24 hours. 24 hours is chill. And then the first pitch he gave me was 48 hours, and I was like, oh, do we really have that many people? We do have a lot of people, so I'm not going to announce anything more official. Like you got a graphic to share. I will probably have a schedule, something to share once it's more official, but we're still getting that figured out right now. But yeah, we'll be doing a stream for that, so watch out for that. Um, and yeah, then but otherwise, like you said, Raghav, this one is not really. It's just for glory for
Yeah.
Western players. And so it's, but it's still a fun one. Also, I guess there is sorry, it's not just for glory. You got to play 3 battles to get your Venusaur. You do get a Venusaur. So
I only just got one, so that would have been clutch.
I actually don't think I have one drafted yet.
Hmm.
I actually still have not. I've been kind of like doing it as a stupid badge of honor, but I have not gotten Charizardite Y yet. I have not bought it.
Bruh.
We'll see how long I can go without doing Charizard Y. It's a very good Pokemon, so maybe I do need to try it eventually.
I think you could
Uh,
get through it honestly, depending on what you're feeling. Like I didn't get Floette until the tournament.
mhm.
Um, I still don't have an Aegislash. There's just stuff where it's like I don't know. I feel like the new game, like the new toy syndrome, really got to me. Where like I'm just playing for no reason. Like I'm struggling on this ladder just because I want the challenge. Just because
Yeah.
I want to do well, and I have failed. Um, so the in-game ladder is very hard, and I think this global challenge will be fun too, just to like again get practice. Like I had the big tournament, but I still feel like in-game ladder is like pretty hard. Like I'm not really there yet.
Yeah, it's kicking
Yeah,
everybody's butt. Go ahead, Sammy.
I've been getting those days where I go from champions top 150 something down to Master Ball tier 2, and I gotta climb back up, and it's so hard. I had
It's
one session like this exactly today, and I managed to finally reach champions with your team, Raghav. So thank you for that.
Oh, let's go! I'm glad. I haven't hit in a while actually. I haven't played in a few days, but like I think I've been hearing a lot like okay, this Charizard team's pretty good even in best of one.
it's just good Pokemon. Uh,
Yeah,
Yeah, plus you have a Redactyl and Floette. You can just throw them out, click Tailwind, Dazzling Gleam. Somebody
exactly.
mhm.
dies, bring in last respect guy, and start respecting everybody.
Just solid
Mhm.
stuff, yeah.
That team is busted. Yeah, we'll get to talking about that in a bit here. Actually, one other thing, we were talking about that Venusaur and about how I don't have like, or Raghav, you were saying you don't have an Aegislash yet and stuff like that. I don't know if it's on this special roster, but I just wanted to mention this really quickly. There is like a special roster related to the global challenge that you can
Ooh.
draft Pokemon off of instead of the normal full roster. All this really means is that if there's any Pokemon on this list that you really want, don't have yet, or want another one of, you can kind of like make your odds higher by picking from this list. So let's say you just wanted an Incineroar because you have only had one Incineroar the whole time, and you want to try a different set on it. Then you could pick from this, and instead of the full 180 something Pokemon, it's this much smaller list of I don't know how many, 30 maybe. Um,
It feels
and
so
so
random.
it's weird. It's weird. I don't know why it's related to the global challenge. It's not like okay, like I
They
don't
got
think
like
there's. Go
Good
ahead.
Pokemon, and then there's a Sandaconda. Like,
It's like mostly. So I think Raghav. It feels like they picked like a lot of like staples, and then like all the weathers. Like I remember the first time I
Yeah,
drafted off of it,
oh,
I took a picture
yeah,
and I was like,
it's
"Go ahead,
it's like
Sanvy."
weather related.
Yes.
okay, that makes sense.
I took a
I
picture. I was like,
mean,
"What? This draft I got was all weather Pokemon," and I was like going to like try to share it with my friends and be like, what is happening here? And then I was like, oh, it's just this special
It's kind of
roster. Like if you
common.
look at the options here, it's just weather, 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 weather. So it's actually pretty
Gotcha.
common.
yeah, yeah, stick my favorite weather setter.
I mean, it
Also
does. It's Prankster.
Mauser for some reason.
Prankster Rain Dance. Yeah, I don't know. Sandaconda's fun. No, I think the most out of place
The
mon is
Conda has Sunspit. It makes sense.
it does. It does. Embor is just like
Ember,
here. I think the only reason Embor is here is because they got Meganium for Alligator, the just the
yeah.
new
Yeah.
Mega starters or whatever. So, um, but yeah, other than that, it just looks
Uh,
like
Ember, Ember can be a weather guy. I'm sure those some boots and fair blitz go hard.
so true, so
Hitran,
true.
Could be
Hitran
a friend. Yeah.
is gonna hide from fear.
Is that Justin in the chat? How's
Next
it
team.
going? Okay, let me see. So, was there anything else to mention on the global challenge? I don't feel like there was. Obviously, it's just just for fun for us, but for other regions, they will be really gunning for those qualifications. So, it's still going to be a intense weekend. Just not for everybody. For everybody else, it's just a lot of glory and fun, and Venusaur, and Venusaur.
And
Uh,
Venusaur.
Venusaur in the Cherish Ball.
yeah, exactly. Um, All right, so let's go ahead and keep it moving along here, and let's start by talking about Prague. So, over in Prague, you guys are playing Regulation I. This is the second. Is it the second or third actually? I forgot about
Second, I
Gyartara.
think.
Third, if you so it's the third overall Regulation I tournament
Return.
we've had since the return to it. And Lewis ended up taking it all with the Hirofumi team. One that Paul Chua got top four with. I think Hirofumi and Suika were using it at Worlds, as well as maybe some others. Um, and yeah, other than that, I don't even know if any major changes have been made to this team. I think maybe some EV spread tweaks, but I think as far as the move sets and such, the open team sheet, it's all pretty much as we've seen it before.
Yeah, the
And
OTS is exactly the same.
Yeah.
oh, I guess yeah, Poke Alex did also use it at the World Championships. I forgot about that. Yeah, Alex was working with them. And so, and then Torviv, I think Torviv's just been running this since Worlds as well. If not, like, I mean, if there are changes, my eyes are
I
just
think
glossing
even
over.
earlier. I think he was using this in Bologna as
NXT.
well.
Okay,
I mean, I'm sure stuff changed between Bologna and NAC and Worlds. I'm not sure. I think this might be his World based, to be honest.
right. Yeah, there could be some stuff like, oh, Zamazenta got 3 more speed added to outspeed, blah blah blah. But boring stuff that
Yeah.
also we can't see here. Um, so yeah. Anyways, this is another Shadow Rider team that I guess people will have to add to their radar because we saw the version that you've been playing a lot of, Sanvy, that you managed to get top four with, the Pow Knight version. Has been doing well. That's what ended up winning over in Orlando with Freeze Eye, and then in finals as well, and in some other decent finishes. There's the Whimsicott version. I think that's like the kind of the defining Pokemon of this archetype. It plays a bit more of an aggressive one with Whimsicott, and then now we have the good old European special in Cinderella, but this time paired with Smeargle, which makes it just even more evil. Um,
Yes. This is just a regulation F team with two big guys. To be
yes.
honest, Smeargle being good makes me so mad. I just wish they fired the guy that decided to put Smeargle back in the game.
Yeah, I
Well,
Even
think
maybe Sammy, maybe they did. Smeargle's not in Champions just yet, so
Yeah, yet.
we're safe for now. But
Yeah, good. Speaking of champions, can you imagine how funny it would be if they nerfed Unseen Fist just for Galurk? Urshifu can keep the same Unseen Fist. That's just a thought I keep having.
they're
Don't
gonna
even
give they're
threaten
gonna
me,
nerf
dude.
Unseen Fist and give Urshifu a new ability that is just old Unseen Fist. Like I don't know what
Yeah,
to
it's
call
literally called Old Unseen Fist.
it.
The ancient fist.
Ancient Fist.
Yeah. No, I feel like in this post the world's Raghav meta, even though like I think a lot of people are just sticking with their guns, right? Like I have a lot of practice with this. I don't want to play this. Like I know this. It feels like Smeargle does feel much better than the first time, or at least more popular. Like that Hirofumi team is honestly maybe the perfect example, the one that won. I was testing it a lot, and it just feels like so easy to get those moody boosts. It seems so easy to make Smeargle work. Like there's so many opportunities to just kind of let him sit on the field. And so I think people are really leaning into it the second time around, even on the CSR versions, I guess, where it's just like this guy's stupid, especially in a restricted format.
Hmm.
But
I think the
Smeargle in this team, sorry, Alex, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Smeargle in this team plays a lot different than in CSR because with this team you have Spiky Shield and you're just going in Trick Room, putting things to sleep. You're slowing, your Ice Rider is slowing the
Yeah.
pace of the game a lot, which means Smeargle can get a lot of moody boost. With the Shadow Rider team, it's usually just sack it so you can get a nasty plot or a barrage
Hmm.
of. And so you with that team you have lot less opportunity to get the speed boost,
Moody. Yeah.
the match sought after speed boost.
I think though what is very accurate here is like if you just like scroll down, you're seeing like Shadow Rider, Shadow Rider, Shadow Rider, Shadow Rider, Shadow Rider. Like what's really making Smeargle so nice right now is just in any of those Shadow Rider boards, they have to choose to click Psychic, or
Yeah,
choose to click not Astral Barrage, because if they click Astral Barrage, then whatever's hitting Smeargle down to Sash isn't actually KOing it. I guess Urshifu could be the guy there, but unless it's specifically Urshifu Water, you're gonna take a Spore on the receiving end, and that's a very bad momentum swing in a restricted format that the turns can play such a. I mean, it just feels like every turn has so much more weight. So I could definitely understand why Smeargle is just kind of running the show right now. Man, in the finals, like I think it just felt like I think every game there was a Smeargle that got a speed boost turn one. It was just like this is awesome. This is exactly the type of Pokemon I want to watch. Of course.
Haven't seen it yet, but I feel like that's kind of what Victor's set was like against Hirofumi at Worlds too, where it was like the Smeargle Moody Boost kind of decided the whole thing. And often it was just like Smeargle into Smeargle lead too, and just figuring out what's the right play. But if I
Hmm.
remember correctly, I feel like Hirofumi got some gnarly Smeargle boosts.
Yeah, yeah. Um, all right, so Sanvi, you and Bononomi both got top four with the same six. And I think you were just running the version you ran at Worlds. I don't know if there was any major
This
edits.
is literally my word space. I just locked my team from words. I the only thing I changed was the Chanpao Terra to ground. The reasoning behind this change was I think it's funny, and that's it.
All right, fair enough, fair enough.
You changed it to
And
ground?
yeah,
Yeah.
just for
Okay.
fun, just to make the
Yeah.
Miraidon
Because
sweat.
I in practice I've seen I mean quote unquote practice whenever I say the word practice what I mean is a pre-word practice because I don't think I played the showdown in post champions and
Hmm.
I've seen
Hmm.
this guy getting tried by Steph Miraidon one too many times so I just changed it to ground just because I played exactly one Miraidon this tournament.
Wow.
Oh wow, okay, that's funny.
That's
I
so
think
few.
it's
The meta
either
is
one
so
or two.
weird.
No, no, it was two. I played Chichot as well. I forgot.
Okay, okay, yeah. So two
Yeah,
I
I don't
also
think
Miraidons.
played. I also played Zero Ice Rider, which is an insane thing to say out loud.
No, it makes sense now, dude. That guy's so washed. I mean, other than on the Koraidon team, of
It
course,
did
but like,
win. It did win the tournament, but at the
okay,
same
okay, okay.
time, it's been down
Yeah,
bad. It's been down bad.
yeah,
Especially Ice Rider Miraidon. Like I don't know. I still don't think Emilio's team looks very strong. But this is the best finishing Ice Rider Miraidon team currently. I think they did make some edits to
yeah.
Emilio's team though. It was clear Amulet guy. This one's leftovers. Um,
Gotcha. Yeah, it feels
but
so weak right now. I mean,
mhm,
I also think the ground is just good team sheet pressure where you don't even have to press it and they're just kind of afraid. So I think
mhm.
changes like that are always kind of fun. They have like an upside there.
So
Yeah,
then,
because
Sanvi, the question I did want to ask you before we got into it was, how I guess you said you just loaded up your world team. Did you practice at all? Like, no.
not really. My whole practice was at the beginning of April, like before Champions even came out. My good friend Fede Campo sent me a team that he fought on ladder, which was my team with Ogre per Cornerstone instead of Among Us, I think. And I played that until I got to like 1200, and then I got bored. I stopped playing. I just before the tournament, I just watched some of my friends play ladder, which was depressing. To say a word to describe that experience. And that's it. I just loaded up with my words team and clicked Astar Barrage and got excited whenever a game came down to Astar Barrage speed tie.
Hey, but like watching them is still something. I feel like I'm not even doing that yet. Like I feel like you could absorb some knowledge there, and you have all those reps. Like I feel like for me and Alex, like we were Ice Rider Miraidon guys, and we just think it feels so dog shit, but we don't want to
Yeah.
practice with something else. So it's like kind of figuring out like what to do.
Yes. It's bad.
I've been hearing some stuff about the stocks of Ice Rider Miraidon being so low. Also at World, something that was surprising at Worlds was that Ice Rider Miraidon on ladder pre-Worlds it was everywhere. At Worlds, I think its best finish was top 16 and it was only one, I think. If
Yeah, it was just
I'm
the
not
the
mistaken.
Sneasler one, I believe.
Uh,
Oh my God, yeah.
This one.
Yeah, I think it doesn't have a lot of positive matchups. Like everything's like even at best, you know? So it's like
Hmm.
why
but,
run
but
that?
but the thing about Regulation I is that every team is dog shit, every team loses to every other team.
That's
This
true.
is what, this is what it feels like.
But see, the thing is with CSR, there's some games where you're like, oh, I got Astral Barrage turn like correct, like I win the game. With Ice Rider, you always have to work hard. You never have to like, you never get to win like without even thinking
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
or
that's
fast.
true.
yeah.
So there's probably like a spectrum of restricted based on how hard you have to work and the result. For example, I feel like Ice Rider is one guy you need to work hard with, but at least you get a result. There's guys like Terapagos where you need to get to work hard and not get a result.
Yeah, this is only for the strong of heart.
Yeah,
Oh man, wait. Terapagos, yeah, it didn't even make top 16 here, despite there being some strong players on it, I believe. Let me see.
I mean, if
Terapagos
Chicha
best.
isn't cutting, it's not doing it, dude. Like after the NAIC finish, I think it did pretty bad at Worlds too, and then like
to be honest, I asked two of the strongest Terapagos soldiers this tournament.
there you
Hmm.
go. But even that one, the margins feel so thin. Like it feels so stressful. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna eat this body press psychic. Like, and my Terapagos is gonna live on like 2%, and then I'm gonna have the Sinistra come back in, or my Instin's gonna tank it. The Rocky Helmet damage is all I need. Like, it feels stressful to play.
I don't know, Sanvi. I think you've convinced me that Turtle is just terrible. Like, if it's not beating the Shadow Riders, you beat two, like you said, two of the strongest Terapagos players at the tournament.
I asked them, but not beat them.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
okay. You
axed them.
hacked. Oh, you hacked. Well, that's their fault for being susceptible to it. That's their fault for
Yeah,
welcoming
because
it in.
for example, I played the cheat shot and in our game 3, I asked all 3 games to be clear. For example, in game two, he missed a Draco on my Dragonite, but at that point, I think I was just so ahead that it didn't really matter. In game three, the game was being played, and my -1 outrage crit his Terrapagos and brought it to red. Like he's no Terrapagos with the Terra Shell broken, and I brought it to red. And I was like, yeah, I asked you, sure, but you spent the whole game double switching. I spent the whole game clicking attacks, so I'm likely to ask you, you know.
Is
Exactly.
exactly what we're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was actually typing it in the chat here to reply to one of the messages, but like passive teams are very vulnerable to luck. They, if you're switching or, attacking second, bad things are going to happen. That's what we're seeing in champions right now with everybody getting
Yes.
rock slide flinched is,
Oh yeah.
To
you,
be honest, the Pterodactyl is a hard guy to outspeed.
Yeah,
it
he's fucking
is.
broken.
It can be pretty hard. That's why I'm always just
Also,
like focusing on getting one hit. I just want to get the one hit. I will then sucker punch or aqua jet it. Like I'll figure it out after that. I just need to get one hit.
Yeah.
but usually what happens is a Pterodactyl flinches the guy that's going to kill it or bring it to range of a priority, and then it lives to crit somebody or do some
Yeah,
insane stuff.
I
It's
know.
we'll get into it, but like Aerodactyl is just such a funny story in this game, dude. Like its usage stat is insane.
It's also it's just the new Shadow Rider. When you're in the Mega, 150 speed spread move.
True.
Um, yeah,
149's back.
you gotta. Um, oh man, I
But you
was
can't
actually.
wait
This is
for
just a.
Mega Absol to become legal, for Mega Absol Z to become legal.
That's true.
Oh,
That's true. We need those guys. Those guys will beat the Mega Arrows for us. Just Garchomp, Absol, and Lucario. I think all of them will probably eat it up.
I think they,
Okay.
I think they all are 151 base speed.
Yes, they
Also
are.
God.
as a big middle finger to Mr. Astral Barrage, which got nerfed in this game in Champions.
Yeah,
Dude,
thank
why
God
didn't they
too.
nerf it in Scarlet and Violet? Why didn't they bring that over here?
They
Yeah,
they
the
buffed
Unseen
it.
Fist one too.
Right?
They
That would have
buffed
been
it
good.
in Scarlet and Violet, but don't worry, they'll make an emergency patch to bring a Shadow Rider base speed to 155, so you don't lose speed phase to Mega Arrow.
Perfect.
Sanvy, from your run, what would you say was the one most standout game?
I'm not sure to be honest. I played one guy in the second round which used Terra Dark Imprison Zamazenta, which was obviously a
Oof.
counter team, and I
Oh, the
managed to
imprisoned
win.
one.
Yeah, I still managed to win this one, which felt awesome.
How?
I- uh,
That's actually nuts.
this game was also weird because I win game one. Game two, I lead Zama because I expect them to make a lead that loses to Zama. I led Zama Mungus. They led the Moon Whimsicott. I was like, awesome. They click
Perfect.
Tailwind and Taunt on my Among Us as I body press large bomb for the double kill. Shadow Rider and Zamazenta come in. I don't have a Champa in the back. I got the reverse back.
No.
That's actually so funny.
So you had to go to
And
the third game then?
I spent the whole team preview for the game two, thinking if I needed to bring Champa or Dragonite. And my head was saying bring Champa. The Shadow Rider is also Terragos. You can click Sucker Punch on it anytime. But my heart was like, bro, Dragonite was so good game one. Do you want to really leave it home? And so I brought the Dragonite and paid the price for it because I couldn't extreme speed the guy that was sweeping me.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
And then game three came down to a random 50-50. Just another day in the CSR Zama office.
Exactly.
Your tournament could have been so different if this one went the other way. Crazy to think. Also,
Yeah,
Peggy,
that's
thank you
true.
for
That
the
that's also
raid.
That's
Sorry,
also
Sammy.
every time thinking about this. Anytime you have a deep run, thinking about a random game during Swiss where you got 50-50 correct, or maybe you didn't get unlucky or you got lucky. How things could have gone if that didn't happen? If I got the 50-50 wrong, maybe I would have finished the pre-4. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the butterfly effect or whatever. Like we don't even know what it could have
Yeah.
been.
This stupid
Um,
format is stressing me out just looking at the pastes, bro.
yeah, I know. We get to play this in a couple of weeks, Raghav. Like basically like a week and a half. You
Yeah.
know, that's awesome. Okay, so let's see. Then in terms of other teams that made it, Mark Mulliner made it to top eight with Maridon and Zamazenta. Probably, like one thing that this team is doing really well is probably taking advantage of the fact that everybody is prepping into the most popular archetypes, and this is not one of the most popular archetypes. So I think it was a really strong pick in that regard. Um, and yeah, otherwise, I think we saw some builds similar-ish to this. I mean, it's got the Pound Knight elements that some of the other teams have. It's not like an Electric Seed Quiver Dance Volcarona or anything like that. It's
Oh, yeah.
a support one with
Yeah,
helmet.
I think
Go ahead,
this
Sammy.
team this team is new. By the way, I lost to this guy. I lost
Mm-hmm.
in the one. It was my only loss. But I think this team is the only new one. When I saw this in team preview, I was like, I've never seen this exact team. Even I was expecting the Volcano to be Electric Seed, but no, it was Helmet instead.
Right.
And which is interesting in a world where everybody's just using their words theme or copying something from words and making slides added to it. Um, even Lele Briganti, I think, he brought something very similar to this in this event.
Oh, okay. Let me
Yeah.
And
see.
also, this team has, for example, the Terra Ferris Amazanta, which is something that we never saw, for example.
Okay, so they
This is literally the same team, I think.
yeah, literally the same. Although were they both
It's
fairy?
yeah, they
They
were
were
both
both fairy.
fairies.
They were both fairy. Okay.
Maybe they work together. But yeah, it's cool to see. I feel like you
Right.
get an advantage if you actually come up with something new that's solid. It's just so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something I tried to do for my team, like an actual change I've been meaning to do with my team was trying to figure out a era for Zamazenta because I feel like with that guy using the standard water or dragon, it's not bad, but it's lazy. I feel like that guy has a lot of terras, like specific terras for a lot of matchups. For example, a terra I considered using was fire to make my life easier into sun, for
Yep.
example,
Yeah.
or even for example, Ghost was another one I considered using just for the Zamazenta mirror.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then again, there's always the other guy clicking the 120 base power
Astral
Ghost spread
Crush.
move next to Zamazenta usually. Not always, but usually.
Yeah.
Uh, I think if you want to innovate on something, it's also so hard because everybody's been playing champions. You want to play champions,
Exactly.
but
Yeah.
you have to prep for the tournament. I think something to look into, like something new to look into would be changing your Zamazenta Terra types to something that was never seen before.
Yeah, I'm
Because
agreeing with both of you guys
I,
saying
I
that,
think
go ahead, Sammy.
I think that guy, like its defensive profile being that good, it can afford to run quote unquote bad Terra. Because, for example, with fire, you double down on the ground weakness. There's not a single ground Pokemon in this format. Sometimes Landorus, which I guess won. But Groudon, I think, is the second one. There's not a lot of ground types, and and also you can get away by just not tearing in front of a lot of its weaknesses, just because its defensive profile is so good, and it takes
Yes.
even super effective stab boosted moves super well. So you can pick the Zamazenta type based on the resistances you get rather than the neutralities, which is
Hmm.
something that Water and Dragon lean into. I mean, I've used Water because A, I was lazy, and B, it makes my life easier into Sun. I resist Flare Blitz, I take neutral from close combat, and take neutral from Moonblast.
Hmm.
Other people, for example, run Dragon so they can take the Electro Drift better on their Zama.
It is one of the most like flexible Pokemon for exactly the reason you said. Like it's just its stats are incredibly tanky, so it's always going to be able to figure out a matchup that it wants to make miserable for the opponent. You know, with its Terra type. You know, Fairy feels like
For example,
a you know hitting aiming for the middle, like you said, like a bad Terra type, but more like a it's like a neutral one. You know, like not aiming to be good into a
also
specific thing, just like in
Fairy is
general. Yeah,
also
go ahead.
good in the Zamazenta mirror. It's not as
Yes,
lopsided as Ghost, because with Ghost you really want to click that Wide Guard into Astral Barrage. With Fairy you stay neutral to the you stay neutral to the button, the Astral Barrage button, and you resist body press. And most Zamazenta don't use Behemoth Bash, and even then, Behemoth Bash is not doing that much because they're
no,
uninvested and you're +1. I think I was talking with somebody about this, and neutral body press and super effective Behemoth Bash, they do about the same amount of damage to each other.
I believe it. I believe it. Yeah. The that it's always funny when you're like supposed to be clicking the other one into resists because body press is just that much stronger, especially when you're probably running a lot of investment in defense to make the body presses hit harder. So it just kind of makes sense, I guess, at the end of the day. But bringing it back to what you and Raghav were saying earlier about how it's like it can be very rewarding to actually try to build something new right now. Yeah, we've been kind of saying the same as well on the past couple of tub takes just about Regulation I. The difficulty in it is that how do you confirm what you're testing is good when the ladder is just completely dead? There's not really any way to like measure how well your new cook, your new idea is going to do. But if you do come up with something new, people are just really not going to be prepared because nobody is testing that extensively. Nobody is cooking up new stuff themselves. You will just be fighting a advantage. You'll have an advantage in almost every battle you play because you'll be fighting something you've prepared for, and they will be fighting something they did not prepare for.
Yes, and even small changes like this can go a long way.
Mm-hmm.
A way you can confirm your idea is good in with this economy, I guess it would be to you need to have experience with the team beforehand. For example, I was comfortable doing the Terra Ground Chen Pao thing because I played that team a lot before Worlds, and I play with that idea since the regulation. I mean, the Sasha the Riders Amazenta idea, if you want to call an idea to call it an idea. I've been using that thing since the beginning of Regulation I, and with the Solvas Champa, I've been playing that for the majority of the past summer, and I knew that the Terra Ground on it can be cool, and if I'm wrong, I'm likely not gonna pay the price for it. The only time I clicked Terra, I meant to resist the Moonblast, which poison, which I previously was on Champa, would have been better. And also against Cheat Shot, I had the Champa lead into the Iron Threads guy, and I didn't remember at the time if Steel Roller was a good roll to kill me if I Terra or a good roll to for me to leave it. I knew it was a good roll on something,
Mm-hmm.
and I just clicked it. My head was saying it's obvious. Yeah, you're obviously going to die. It's a 140 or 50 base move. with stab, but my heart was saying that Pokemon sucks. Of course, you're gonna leave it. I clicked Terra and I died. And I lost,
No,
and I lost,
no.
and I lost
You
game one.
still you still don't know if it was the good or the bad roll though.
It's so true.
I later confirmed it was the bad roll. I got
Oh,
crit. So I think it's like an 81% chance to KO.
yeah, there you go.
I got crit, which means I can complain about luck, which is awesome, which is why we play Pokemon.
Yes. Yeah, I think Marco also loaded up the treads and then just unfortunately didn't make it to day two. Or no, did make it to day two, lost the first round, right? 6-3, I think.
Marco was on Mirai on Ice Rider, I think.
Yes, but still had the treads. I think. Um, oh. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I ended up winning out. I think lost after the first round because you guys over there play 9 rounds on day one. You play
Yeah,
the
for,
first
for
round.
some for some reason.
I don't
But I
really get it.
but
I
I
still.
gotta say, if you finish the whole 9 rounds being X1, it feels awesome. Going to the actual day two and having to play one less round.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That is true.
Uh,
Uh,
but I know there's also the other side of the is it the other side of the coin or the other side of the matter? What do you say?
the coin, I think.
Oh, the
Coin, yeah.
coin,
Wait, what was the second one you said?
Matter.
the medal.
Oh,
Yeah, we
metal.
I think we said coin. Yeah.
Usually coin. Usually coin.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, okay. The other side of the coin is if you go at free at the end of day one, like if you finish day one 6-3, you still gotta show up and play for basically nothing.
It is. Yeah. It's so brutal. I think I like our system. Mostly just.
I think the old system, aka your system, is definitely better.
Mhm.
Even for us, because playing 9 rounds of Pokemon, especially Regulation I, which is a very stressful format to play, I think.
Mhm.
Where I think
It's
the,
too
the last
much.
Pokemon the last Pokemon I play, the happier I finish my day.
Yeah, I know.
Just breaks
Long
it up
sets too.
better.
Um, Let me see if there's any other teams here that we want to mention before we move on. Because yeah, I think in the rest of the top eight we saw just standard Raging Bolt balance. It's kind of funny the number of repeat teams we're seeing in this top cut. Livio and Giuseppe running the
Yeah, me
same
me and Lee, I played Livio in top eight, and Leonardo Bonanomi playing the Papa in the top eight, which
Pepe.
was
Yeah.
funny because it was literally the same matchup being played by four different people.
Yes, exactly. And lastly, the Lunala Calm Mind team made it, which is probably again another team where this is somewhat existed in the past. Like
Yeah,
people were using
this was
this.
like a thing at the very beginning of Regulation I, but then it
Yeah,
just disappeared. I think the last time this team was seen was at NAC with Justin Knox. He made top 16.
yeah, that sounds right. And I
That's
feel
where
like
I know
most
it
people
from.
moved on. And so that's why it's probably again getting to take advantage of the fact that people were just not thinking about how to play this matchup at all. When they came to this
Dude,
tournament.
it's just a Terapagos shit, dude. Like I don't want to use that. It just feels
No,
so stressful.
Yeah, this is Ghost type Terrapagos. This is the Terrapagos that needs to Terra in front of Shadow Rider.
Yeah.
it's
But
true.
but you have Grimsdarl, so odds are you're gonna be the one axing, not the one that's gonna be axed out.
So
True, true.
true. That's real. That's real. Um, but yeah, I think then otherwise, a lot of the other teams are ones we've seen before or stuff with very minor changes. The team from Fraud was a bit different than anything we've seen before. I don't think I've seen a lot of Tornadus Ice Rider teams. And this one also has Seed Bomb, funnily enough, Terra Grass. Um, and then, yeah, I think that's.
Derek was a team
Oh,
also
right,
is something
Nerit.
new.
Nerit did use Rayquaza. It was funny. It was just, I think Nerit got a single stream set, if I remember correctly. and I think might have won, but just didn't bring Rayquaza. Like just won with like Miraidon. And I was like, we're just playing like Reg G out here, you
Arubega.
know, with
This
a
is
big old
Arubega with
yes,
with a Koraidon mashup patch.
exactly. That's what it is. It's just like, oh, let me go play Arubega, and I have Rayquaza for that. Like, it just is dumb. It's silly. It's goofy. Oh, that is a Rhydon. Okay, hold on. Rhydon did go.
Oh, I
Um,
played this guy. I played this guy at 8 7-1 was the record I played him in.
okay. I'm guessing Rhydon did not come against you.
It did.
Oh, wait, for your Raging Bolt, right? I
Yeah,
guess.
but I never bought Raging Bolt. This guy,
Dude, this is
that
Michael's
guy.
team.
No, Michael didn't
Oh,
run exactly this because they
He
made
had
this
toxic
stuff
effects.
more normal. Michael had at least
more
half.
normal.
He had Koraidon Ho-Oh, Rhydon.
He had
Well,
Toxapex on something for
you
sure.
see, Michael he was running Toxapex and Walking Wake, so like
All right, whatever. It's close.
it's kind of close. Yep. Um, all right, yeah. Then I think I'm gonna keep us moving along here, and move us on to talking about Pokemon Champions over
Let's
in
go.
the Grand Champions Festival. Is this the right tournament? I think I linked the wrong tournament. The
I'm
Champions
so
Arena.
sorry. I don't know if you can hear the background noise, but it's kind of loud here.
No, you're good. We can't hear it. We can't hear it.
Okay,
At
okay,
least
cool.
not right now.
The leaf blowers.
And so this was, set out to be like I think there was like 10,000, 11,000 people signed up after no shows and some of the people taking their spots. It ended up being roughly 6,000 people, I believe, is what I
Yeah,
was hearing.
I think it's like
Um,
6,100, something like that.
What does it mean to you, anyways?
Shut up.
I don't have the exact number memorized. Don't worry. So Raghav, you ended up taking it all with this Floette Charizard dual mega team. Um, and honestly, the rest
Yes.
of the Pokemon are just the strong guys. Just some of the best non mega Pokemon in the format. So it's nothing too spicy, but it was feeling good to play. I have to imagine.
Yeah, I mean, so this is a team that I feel like Colin was using, and it just has all the good guys, right? And I didn't actually get to play too many test games beforehand with this, because I was mostly playing like on the in-game ladder, just using what I have, and I had to source a floette from a friend, and so I was testing just versions of this, and it feels very intuitively strong. But as I got into the tournament, like every matchup, I was like, okay, I have the tools I need. I just need to play okay, right? And if you want more details on the team, I have released the rental and a team report on Battle Room channel. If
Yes.
you want more information, how to use it and stuff. But just like real quick, like it felt really good, and the choices we had, like Wide Guard Aerodactyl was really good. Dragon Fang Scale Shot went nutty. I was gambling a lot, and I was winning big, dude. I was betting, and I was taking home the cash. Okay.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I feel like you can't really go wrong with a team like this just because it's so strong, all the good guys. I feel like it has five of the six like top Pokemon or like top eight Pokemon. So yeah,
hmm
I think it's a staple. I guess it's just like good stuffs.
It is. It is. We need to come up with a name for it. Now, you don't have Sneasler here. Sneasler,
Oh
kind of like the most common Pokemon in the format, but Sneasler, it's not like necessary for teams, but it's still very very good. I feel like Sneasler, King Gambit, Bass, those guys, they're just like the most evil triangle in the format. They also work so well together for that reason. I just haven't seen anybody have a good name for those three, but I feel like those three are on so many teams. On the runner-up team here. And
I
yeah,
call
I
it
just
the loser face core,
the what?
the loser face or the the
Loser
the asshole
face.
core.
Yeah, these guys
I'm
do
kidding.
suck, dude. I hate them. I hate them. They're all evil. You're gonna get
They're so
Dire Clawed, Last Respected, Sucker Punch Mind Games. Like, there's just so much evil with these guys.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, and they're just so easy to put together. Like, look at that second place team.
yes,
It just makes sense.
yep. And
The
um,
second team is so different from the first one, but still, you have the fish and the king gambit together.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even then, I guess they're running the same King Gambit, but Basque Legion was the Sash set here. Citrus Berry is also viable. King Gambit can run Ironhead. It can technically run the Black Glasses one. I feel like Chopal really kind of taken the lead lately, but and actually there's a good number of people trying out just Protectless, just to have all of the coverage on your
Yeah,
King Gambit.
I think Protectless makes sense. I think Protectless makes sense on more trick roomy stuff because King Gambit can also be a good trick room abuser.
It can be,
Yeah.
def.
It makes enough sense. I think Chopo has really just like become the staple because Sneasler is on over half the teams, and like what are you gonna
Hmm.
do, right? Just you're trying to increase your odds as much as possible, and there's no real items in the game, so
I mean,
Yeah.
Black Glasses, I've always considered King Gambit with no Black Glasses a sad Pokemon. But I've
Hmm.
changed my mind after using it. Using the Trouble just free attacks a bit. That's like the standard one uh,
yeah.
as of today. But even Sword Dance can make a comeback. I
I
wouldn't be shocked if Sword Dance King Gambit made a comeback.
Yeah, I think Black Glasses is good even without like Swords Dance, just because as
Yeah,
the format goes on. Sorry, go on.
just because your Kowtows, your Sucker Punch just do that little extra damage.
Yeah, and as things bulk up, like the format gets bulkier, we see like Citrus Basculegion, we see all these other ones that like just making sure my Sucker Punch always kills. It just feels so good to know.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
also on this note, a lot of people on the in-game ladder are using the Supreme Overlord King Gambit, which is not as good as the singles, but even getting a 10% boost on your Sucker Punch can make a lot of difference.
Hmm.
I don't know if this will translate well to best of three open team shit, because Incineroar is in a weird spot in this format, and Incineroar is the premier intimate guy.
I know
Yeah.
we're
I've
looking
I've
at it. I mean,
seen I've seen it.
it's gotten two top fours, and it's got a as well as another top eight placing, but it's still a very strong Pokemon. But the format is also very very hostile to it. We were talking about
About
the
this
big
story,
three. Go
I've
ahead.
heard this story a lot of times. Incineroar is bad into the top Pokemon, blah blah blah. Then at the end of the format, Incineroar is top one.
Right? We'll never count it out.
Yeah.
We'll never count it out. But we're just like looking at it in
Like,
terms of like the Pokemon at the top.
do you remember
Garch.
in the Regulation F when everybody thought Incineroar was washed and Arcanine was going to be the new Intimidate Fire type guy?
Okay, but
So
back then I thought they were dumb. Right now I don't think they're as dumb. I think that there's a story because Incineroar is supposed to be that guy, and right now it just feels
Yeah, it
like
it
it's not
gets
even
it
King
gets
Gambit Milo,
bullied.
it's the White Herb Sneasler, bro. Like that is
Yeah,
so annoying.
it gets bullied by everybody. Like every top tier in this format loves singing. Incineroar does a billion to it. Charizard is unbothered by Insane.
It's fine.
Garchomp does a lot with Earthquake. King Gambit gets boosted. Aerodactyl does a lot with Rock Slide. Basculegion does a lot with Crush.
right.
Sneasler, it's like thank you for the free speed boost.
Yep.
But that said, a lot of Pokemon also appreciate the support Incineroar gives them.
It's time for Blaze and
Yeah.
Cineroar.
Oh
We'll just
yeah.
run.
Today,
no.
today, today, I lost on the ladder to Izuya Arcanine Sash with Rocket. Maybe that's the new guy.
Dude, I've
You could
seen
do
that
that.
too.
That one's sick. Yeah, you can flare blitz without breaking your sash. You can head smash. That guy does damage.
Oh,
Um,
Colin and I, we played a head smash Basculegion, dude.
yo,
Because they're scared of Heliolisk.
no, no, no.
Psychic Psychic Fangs is the real move to it. Helios with.
Oh, true,
Uh,
true. You could psychic. It does get some funny coverage moves.
Yeah.
Um, crunch for the mirror before last respects activates or something. No, ignore that.
Just
It's gonna do zero
so
damage.
Shadow Ball.
Yeah, shadow ball, shadow ball. The
There
special
you
one's
go.
cool. Um,
I
what
mean,
was I gonna mention?
just run Shadow Ball on the good Basque Legion. I bet it does more than Crunch because of adaptability.
Hmm.
True.
Oh yeah, and then Milotic is also just really hostile. Like I mean, this team's literally running double Defiant and competitive. So
And
yeah,
Sneasler and Ask, like,
And
it's just,
Sneeze there.
it would
yeah.
be funny though if the format does get to a point where people feel comfortable enough into Incineroar that they decide to try Supreme Overlord on
You
King
see it
Gambit.
a lot in game, like on ladder. Like I guess I'm
But
not super high, but like I do see them do it, and I'm like, "Ah, I guess like you're being naughty there, dude.
Right?
That's
That's
not
how
what
I
happened."
feel. That's how I feel. Like
Yeah.
we can't do that.
But to be honest, I have a lot of games with King Gambit. I think every game I played on ladder, I played with a King Gambit, and Defiant I think activated only 2 times. I think.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, so Supreme Overlord makes sense because Defiant King Gambit feels like playing a good Pokemon without an ability most of the times. It's just an Iron and Rumble.
Especially in
Hmm.
best of one close sheet, like you can definitely do that.
Yeah, best of one close shit you can. It's very forgiving doing stuff like this. I don't. I'm curious if this will translate in open team shit as well, because
Hmm.
on paper it makes sense. The boost is not big, but a 10% boost or a 20% boost on Sucker Punch when everything is chipped down can win you a game. To be
I
honest.
Hmm.
think in the limited decks it matters. Like it can it like at the power level, like it is kind of meaningful.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like for example, if you come in with 2 dots, it's like having black glasses
It is.
Yeah.
without actually having black glasses.
Something I think will be funny is later down the line, like when we actually get more options, more items, more Pokemon, how many of the things that we're using now people are going to insist is still the way to do it. Like, if when Assault Vest comes back, are we still going to be running Chopal on King Gambit? Are people going to still say this is the best item to run on King Gambit? Like it's
Yeah,
um
that's true.
it's kind of funny.
I
It'll still
mean,
be
you can
solid, but
because you can still have protect on King Gambit and protect on zero Pokemons is usually very good.
mhm,
Yeah, I just think it's the lack of Terra, honestly, that makes it so good
yeah.
too. It's just like Sneasler, Sneasler, Sneasler. Unless we have some real like Sneasler nuke added, I think you're just gonna probably stay Chopo,
Psychic
and even then,
Psychic Fangs, Dragapult is your guy.
yeah, that's true. They're things.
Yeah,
One
but
other thing I wanted
every
to mention, Raghav, kind of bringing it back to your team, because we're talking about this evil trio of Pokemon: Sneasler, King Gambit, and Basque Legion. I think that's one of the things that makes these two megas such solid choices, aside from their natural power as well, is that they can do well against all of these. There are a couple, and Garchomp is kind of like the fourth best Pokemon behind that trio. It feels like. In part because they have two ground weaknesses, and the third one, Basque Legion, doesn't resist ground, so you're always able to make good progress with ground moves against those Pokemon. No fairy resistances on them, so Floette, also a very good Pokemon if positioned well to work your way through those. Lastly, Charizard is able to do considerable damage to Sneasler, if not Oko with Weather Ball. Same thing for King Gambit, and lastly Solar Beam. I think part of the reason we're seeing Basque Legion do so well is because we don't have a good grass and electric type moves that are very easily available. So Solar Beam, a very good substitute for that. And so I feel like that's one of the things that makes these two megas so strong.
Yeah, absolutely. You put it really well. I mean, that's why I like Charizard so much, right? It's just so naturally good into so many of the Pokemon. You just need to have speed control, and then I was running a bulkier set, so you kind of just take a hit from all of them anyway and trade really, really well. With
Hmm.
Floette, like this team isn't the best at supporting Floette, but if you just get it in Tailwind, like the game designers didn't really I don't think they cared enough to like really balance Floette. Like there's no assault vest. This guy's is just destroying everything if you get in the
but
right position.
Blood
Hmm.
feels like it's made in a lab just to be the definitive best fairy type Pokemon because
Yeah.
it has a stat spread comparable to Fluttermane, which is the best modern fairy type and the ability of the best fairy type of all times.
Yeah.
And
It's
also,
evil.
also for some reason, it weighs a lot. So Avislam is not a counter
It
because
bothers me so much.
Dude, it
they
Why?
was made in a lab by Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Like, it's
because
not a lot, dude.
they realized that people were using non-stop Avislam to KO Fluttermane, and they were like, okay, no, this won't happen. This won't happen anymore.
Exactly.
Uh, one Mega Metagross will become legal. It will it's gonna have something that makes it way less in game. It's gonna have
Balance
like the
packs.
yeah side effect of tough close is gonna be also light metal. I think it's called the ability that has your weight.
That's
Hey, at
so
least you take
funny.
less from low kick, maybe. Um,
The king the low kicks no Leon King Gambit.
yep,
That's
yep.
not gonna count for you for some reason.
Let me see. So, are there any
It's some,
other? Let's see. I'm looking at the other teams and keeping us moving along here. Aegislash has still been doing quite well.
Charcoal.
Oh, that
Sorry.
is charcoal. That's true. I actually didn't know about this being charcoal. Um,
I
Otherwise, just a
forgot.
lot of strong guys here. I think the
Yeah.
things that separate this team from the other ones, besides the SD chomp, I guess I'm just now noticing that, um, is King Gambit, or not King Gambit, no King Gambit, instead having an Aegislash. Aegislash is really cool right now with the physical set. You have the option of running like a fighting move like Close Combat or Sacred Sword, but also you can run Poltergeist instead in place of um, or sorry, not Poltergeist. You can run Ironhead in place of that. Funnily enough, I always say this: Ironhead is not as much for Floette as I feel like it is for Sneasler, because if you run the close combat set and you run into a white herb Sneasler, you cannot Poltergeist them anymore once they get rid of their item. So it could get really really awkward. With how many consumable items there are in this format, you have to be pretty careful with how you play Aegislash. But that said, the payoff is incredible. When you land a poltergeist, it does so much damage.
Yeah, this guy does dummy damage. I like Aegislash a lot. I think it's very interesting. But it just has the same, like issues that a lot of Pokemon have. There's so much hatred towards the ghost types in the format, King Gambits everywhere. So it's about kind of like figuring out when you can get a sneaky Shadow Sneak, or even like Michael, for example. He was running Colberberry, I think. I think that's pretty cool. That you're just like,
Hmm.
I'm gonna take your King Gambit hit, and then I'm gonna Sacred Sword you. So Aegislash is super sick though.
It is,
I
and
think Aegislash is a sleeper good Pokemon in this format. It also does pretty well in all the top tiers. Yeah, like Sneasler can touch it. You have a fighting move for King Gambit, and the Shadow Snake does a lot to Basque Legion. A lot of
So
people
much.
a lot of people in the game in the in-game ladder are using Focus Sash on Aegislash, which I think makes sense. It's pretty obnoxious to deal with
mhm.
because
Focus is super good because you just stay in
yeah,
Blade Form.
yeah, they don't run Kingshield, I think. I think their set is like Poltergeist, the Sacred Sword, White Card, the Shadow Snake.
I like that.
That's
I do like
crazy.
that. I think that seems like a pretty strong set, especially in best of one. But I think it honestly could carry over genuinely because
I think yeah, it can carry over to Open Team Shit because one problem with Fire is Rush, sure it has a lot of good matchups, but it's also a momentum sink of a Pokemon because you attack, then you need to go in defense mode because otherwise you're gonna get KO'd by neutral hits. And you lose it, that can get red, they can double your other Pokemon. With Sash, you don't need to do that. You get one big poltergeist off, you Shadow Sneak. If they leave, you have White Guard to force your opponent to pick the single target move, which also there's a lot of spread moves spread moves in this format.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think wide guard is so good. Like we were talking about how annoying Aerodactyl is, and I think that was one thing that helped a lot is just having wide guard so I don't get fucking rock slide flinched like a million times. Is just or even blizzarded. Like I just think wide guard sometimes it wasn't just for like, oh, I don't want my Charizard to die. It's like I don't want to even risk this hacks. And I think like even though there isn't like water spout and astral barrage in the format, there's just a lot of really annoying shit.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's true. Wild guard is a very good move in this format. If you look at every team, all will have a form of spread damage,
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's kind of hilarious against
which
some of the snow Pokemon. Like, you can have Garchomp just chilling in front of a Frostlass because they only run Blizzard. So you could just you wide
Yeah.
guard it and you're good.
That's why I brought it in the finals. Because I was like, hey, if I have Aerodactyl next to Chomp, like I actually feel okay. Like I can just click wide guard. And the Ninetales I played too was just mono blizzard. I played two of them. It was encore disable blizzard. So I didn't end up bringing the chomp, but you definitely can, right? Like wide guard is just a very, very good move, and I feel like a lot of people are trying to cheat out of it by just being like, okay, I'll just run mono spread. It'll be fine.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't think you can do that, to be honest.
Hmm. With the Ninetales, you're saying, or in
Yeah,
general?
Ninetales is a weird set because Ninetales can play itself out of that situation. I can anchor you in a non-white guard move, or I can disable your white guard. It takes more effort than just clicking freeze dry, but it has an option to work around that situation.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I think freeze dry is good just because of Basque Legion too, but it depends
Yeah.
on the team.
Also, I'm a believer that Rain is secretly broken in this format because every guy is physical and Arcaludon is unkillable.
It's
Yeah.
just Floette, man, and these special attackers. Like that's why
Yeah,
I was saying with no assault vest, they should have given Archeludon Mega like just assault vest, like as its
no,
ability.
no,
Like
no.
that's all
That
you
that
need, dude.
I always lose to Arcaludon because it lives something on 4%, and it lived on 4% because it was leftovers, because it
True.
was running leftovers because Asorbus was in the game. So leftovers Arcaludon is better than AV.
I'm with you
Yeah,
there. That's
maybe.
why I always say that the Thunderwave nerf was actually a buff because when you get, paralyzed, it's just so much more tilting. You're just like, "Oh, come
That's
on."
that's true. I kind of hate all these changes because they were like, okay, we realize this is a problem. So we're just gonna lower the odds. You're still gonna lose in tournaments to full paras, to Sneasler, you, and all of this. But hey, it's less likely.
It's just gonna feel worse now.
It will
Yeah.
feel worse. It will feel worse. It's so funny. Um All right, let's talk about Santi's team right now, just because
Also,
we have it on screen. And I think North was also running this for a very solid
Yeah.
finish. This is, yeah, very much a cool one, and really putting Gengar back on the map after last weekend. I feel like Gengar had it wasn't looking as impressive because as we were kind of talking about, like a lot of the big non-mega Pokemon, King Gambit, Bastia Legion, Garchomp, they can all give Gengar a bit of a hard time. But the payoff is that you're going to be using, one of the most unbalanced abilities to have on a Mega Pokemon in the history of the game. So, what if you can really make it work for Gengar? That's the strength of it is that you're if it has a bad matchup into something, you just trap it in and trap it across from its bad matchup. So at the very least, you have a lot of control over the board.
Yeah. This is my favorite team from the tournament, honestly. I think there's a few interesting things about it. Obviously, it has the good guys and Sneasler and King Gambit, like the most broken guys. But also Incineroar, I feel like is best on these Gengar cores. It feels like the most naturally fitting, as opposed to some of these other teams where I'm just like, I don't really want it. But this Dragonite set is so stupid, dude. It does so much damage with Dragon Fang, Dragon Claw. Like obviously it one shots Garchomp, but it does like 70% to Basculegion. It does like
Yeah.
70 to Charizard. It just trades so well in everything. And having your own King Gambit plus Incineroar usage just being down means that you're usually getting these full powered hits off.
Hmm. Yeah, and multi-scale really good too. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, and also extreme speed, because if something leaves Dragon Claw, you still have
Just
extreme
clean
speed.
up. Yeah.
mhm.
Another cool thing is that like Gengar is obviously annoyed by King Gambit, but this team has managed to fit in 3 ways to hit it effectively. With low
Important
kick
count for
on
this
King
one.
Gambit, D Knight, yeah, and then Blitz on Instant. I think that's essential. And then Encore Disable trapping is always cool. I'm just like, I'm not sure. Like this Never Melt Ice said that I feel like you're so susceptible to just dying to stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, I think they were running a little bit of bulk on it to make up for it. I think mainly they must have just determined that Sash on Sneasler was like necessary. Um,
Yeah.
that must have been the decision there to really lock down those King Gambits. But honestly, I could see them continuing to innovate on this archetype. It actually reminds me a lot of the team Agati was running. Do you guys remember that one in like Reg H
Yes.
with like Garchomp?
Or Age.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because I think it has maybe these
Four
five.
of them.
Oh,
No, maybe it
that's
does.
No, there was no
uh
Sneasler. It was
no, it wasn't Sneasler, but it was
Chompamungus, I
Garchomp.
think.
Oh yes,
Hmm.
Among Us. True, that guy was in the game. Gengar is like an Among Us if you think about it. They're both poison. They both click Stag Bomb, so they're basically the
Oh,
same
It's
you're
true.
Pokemon.
It's
right.
the same guy.
There is an Amoonguss. Dang.
Gengar,
I don't know why I thought this
Gengar
was
can also run Hypnosis. So you have Spore.
so true. So true.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, yeah, moving on through some of the other teams here. This is probably, this was, who was this? I tried this team out on stream yesterday,
Davide
man.
Fazio, right?
Davide
Um,
Fazio, my God.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, very, been crushing it lately. I believe he won a GC, this season.
Yeah, won a GC, got top 8 at UIC, got top 8 at the Seville special event.
Hmm. Just a very
Oh,
He's,
strong track record.
he's
And
one of my closest friend. He lives
yeah,
like 10 minutes drive from me.
oh,
oh,
that's
that's
sick.
sick. He
That's
seems
so
like a
sick.
nice dude too, based on
Yeah, he
like
is.
Had
yeah.
him on Tub Takes before. It was great to get to talk to him. And yeah, really making Scovillain look awesome here, as well as Dual Mega Aerodactyl. I believe seeing the tweet that he made afterwards basically said like Scovillain's all right, Aerodactyl is awesome. And yeah, I mean the rest of the team is just the guys. You know, you've seen them. So why don't we talk about the Como instead? Which Como is really
Yeah, it
cool
should be a
because I think
Garchomp in my opinion.
what's that? Sorry, it should be a Garchomp. You're saying instead of Como.
Yeah,
Dang, a
that's
Como
because
hater. I'm a Como lover.
No, come
Sanvy,
on,
I'm
sick.
sorry. The thing about Como is that like it's really strong into these three Pokemon if you can just find a single turn to set up.
it's
Um, and yeah, I feel like it pairs so well with some of the options that you're using here. Like for example, burning things with your Scovillain makes up for the fact that clanging scales drops your defense stat, and then you boost your special defense stat with clang soul. So I feel like Scovillain, a very natural partner for things that can boost their special defense, like Calm Mind users as well. And then lastly, it's like it's boring and like not that hot of a take to say, but like it's really good with King Gambit and Basket Legion
Escalation.
for specifically the reason that you want to like go down. Like you often will just like trade your mega away to set up a good board position. And so you want to be able
Yeah.
to, win from behind essentially, and that's what King Gambit and Basket Legion specialize in.
Also,
that's
Sanvi,
be-
you can't be Garchomp because then you're gonna lose the Archiludon. You're just, glazing
yes.
your.
The story about the Como is my friend because it was Sylveon previously in that slot. He was losing to Rain. He looked at which Pokemon got their power in this format. By the way, I've done that today. Don't do it. It's very depressing.
Don't
I
do
was
it.
running.
So
I was
depressing.
I was running calcs on Soft Sun Garchomp today with her
Earth
With
power.
power.
Earth Power?
Yes,
Yo!
and they're very sad. And after he went down in that disappointing rabbit hole, he came out to instead of looking for Earth power, he looked for Aura Sphere, and plus one Aura Sphere is a good roll to KO Arcaludon, but you can board Arcaludon, so it's a more favorable roll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean you can always KO it reliably with just a couple of clanging scales too. So, um, yeah, it's. I mean, Arch is still going to be a demon for a lot of the teams that are spamming physical attackers, but
Yeah,
uh,
because the challenge of this format because this format is 1 billion physical Pokemons and two special attackers, which usually are your megas. So you
right,
can only bring one special attacker per game. So
Yeah.
you need to choose out the special attackers. That's why stuff like Spicy Spray or Stamina are, in my opinion, insanely good because none of these Pokemons likes to be burned. Even special attackers, you still getting the 6% per turn
It's
is
valuable.
still annoying. Yeah, even
mm-hmm.
like process, for example, getting sometimes you need to do it because you would rather get your Frazzles burn instead of your King Gambit. I wonder if we will see Lambari popping out because of this.
Or
Oh,
facade,
that's
dude. Run
true.
facade on Mega for Alligator. That's the counter. That's the
Oh
solution.
my
Imagine
God.
Imagine if they put Ursaluna in the game without Flame Orb, then it's gonna be my counter pick at NPA for when I see my opponent
No,
likes to use
Savvy,
Scribblers.
I already saw this one. Somebody was running Earthquake Conkeldurr. You Earthquake your own Scovillain, and then you burn
Oh
your
my,
Conk and get the guts activated.
that's actually so fire.
I was like, that's
Uh,
sick. That's sick.
yeah, but that
Uh,
team's lit. Um,
it is
I
it is cool.
actually I think the Mega
I
Arrow
was
is super good. The speed stat's like so important because
I,
the reason I lost game three was my Garchomp didn't outspeed Aerodactyl after a scale shot.
we
Ooh.
talked about this today.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
messed up though. I mean, it was a really fun close set. I don't remember everything, but I remember thinking like, oh, the Aerodactyl's gonna protect. They'll scale shot the other slot. It didn't, and then next turn I got outsped and was like, oh shit.
Hmm. Hmm. Evil Shadow Rider speed.
Mega Aerodactyl is super good, which is like weird because it's just a regular Aerodactyl with more speed.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Though the damage increase can be good too. And sometimes the bulk, sometimes the bulk. I've never been impressed by the bulk, but
it's
yeah,
okay.
being able to
That's,
hit harder with dual wing beat is cool. Especially with a lot of
yeah,
Sneaslers, they're investing in bulk to survive dual wing beats. So then just, getting around that is cool.
Yeah,
Um,
uh, the next step in the Sneasler evolution is going to be Coba Berry as
still live the
Sneasler
Mega.
to live dual wing bit and get unburdened.
Actually, you're almost there, Sanvy. I think Anya was already topping the ladder with Citrus Sneasler. Um, I don't.
Yeah,
Uh, I I've played one Citrus Sneasler today and I wasn't shocked because I
item's
mean
too good.
we've been seeing like Bold Sneasler max defense that leaves Moonblast from Float.
Yeah.
Citrus Dieseler doesn't shock me, but I was still surprised to see we're at this point
Hmm.
in human evolution where we run the Pokemon with 60 base special defense and 70 HP base HP or however it has with Citrus Berry.
Real
Yeah.
Pokemon is back, baby.
It's awesome. I mean, when you can't Terra around bad matchups, you just got to find other ways.
Yeah.
It does feel like Sneasler is the fake out Pokemon that can switch in better than Incineroar on certain things in the format, like Sneasler and King Gambit. You can switch in Sneasler quite well on opposing King
Yeah,
Gambit,
because
opposing Sneasler.
Sneasler, the thing with Sneasler, it's typing you have a lot of resistance, of like niche resistances, for example, dark and fighting and poison.
Rock.
Yeah.
Dark
Rock as
too.
Rock
well. If you're worried about
slides.
some rock moves, if you got to switch in on a rock slide, yeah, you might be annoyed that you can get flinched, but when you switch in Sneasler, you can't get flinched. Then you can fake out to stop that rock slide for the next turn. So quite good there.
Also Sneasler, let's not forget how deep its move pool is. Some people on Battle Spot run Feint, which I think can be legit even in city
Open
in
sheet. Yeah.
OTS.
You could. The thing
Yeah.
about
Faint. Rock Tomb are cool.
yeah, I was gonna say the same too, Raghav. The cool thing about Feint is that in closed team sheet, it's a demon because you don't see it coming and you get a free turn. In open team sheet, you just put it on the sheet and click fake out, and your opponent lets you fake them out without protecting, and you just have a great time. It's awesome. It's just
Yeah.
Plus, it's counterplay to Wildguard, which we'll be seeing, and you
true.
can, for example, with Scarf Basque Legion specifically, you can create yourself some pins. For example, on Talonflame, you can paint to break
Gale
the
Gale
Gale
wings.
wings.
Wings,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then flip turn or just Wave Crash, and you can't keep Quick Guard away from it because Flame
No,
to break
Absolutely.
Quick Guard.
that's so sick. What was okay, yeah. All right, so then let me see. Oh yeah, we gotta go over to MDB's team as well as Lycos and the Tricker one, and then maybe we'll pick some other ones throughout the rest because I know we're running a little bit close on time. MDB's team honestly has a lot in, or at least a decent amount in common. Actually, only a bit in common with Santino's team. But this is another take on Gengar instead running Disable in the free slot instead of Perish. And using Rotom to kind of keep the trap going. I forgot to mention earlier, but Wisp on Rotom really good into this very physical meta, as we've been saying. So I think we're just seeing like a lot of the most common ways to deal with physical attackers rising to the top, and we'll probably see the meta revolve around that a little bit. Either enabling that to go off, making sure you can land your Will-O-Wisps, not just accuracy aside, I guess, but just making sure you're game planning around that, or counterplay to it, like Sanvy said, maybe people will start running Lumberry.
Lumber.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, just solid. It's just kind of a bunch of balanced Pokemon, really. Besides the cool Colbur Aegislash that Raghav highlighted earlier.
Yeah, I was scared of this team though, especially because well, Disable Gengar is annoying for sure, but the Rock Tomb Scarf Chomp is like something that's really tricky to play around just because I don't have Fake Out or Redirection, and Wide Guard was honestly something I relied on a lot versus Garchomp. So I think that's something we can see moving forward, especially next to Ninetales. You don't miss Dragon Claw as much into the other Chomps.
Hmm.
So I definitely think he had some cool choices on this team.
Yeah, Rock Tomb is one that I could definitely see catching on because it's a pretty reliable rock move for dealing with Wide Guard plus Charizard if you can't
Mm.
Rock Slide. Stone Edge a little bit less accurate.
Yeah, but
Um,
the thing is, Rock Tomb 1 KO most of the times, whereas
no,
Stone Age,
yeah, you're right.
Rock Tomb does as about as Rock Slide. Like it's a little more powerful, but only by like 4 points, I think.
Yeah,
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 but
you're
Uh,
most
gonna have to use it
Charizards,
for a 1-2 punch, basically. You slow them down so that something can finish it off.
yeah,
You know.
it's annoying to play around for sure if your game plan with Charizard around the Garchomp is to Wiger their Rock Slide away. Them
yeah,
having uh, them having that is very annoying. Having
yeah.
the
So
option.
like, if I live Rock Slide 15 out of 16 times, the Rock Tomb's still killing over half of the time. Um, and then also it's just like even Rock Tombing not my Charizard but my Aerodactyl. Like I'm pissed,
Hmm.
So the speed control is nice.
Definitely. I'm liking that idea a lot. Okay, moving us along here. Let's see. So for Lycos' team, Mega Venusaur. Yeah, honestly, Mega Venusaur is one that I've had my doubts about. After trying it, like I played literally 2 games with it and lost them both, and I was like, I'm done. I'm out. I don't know if this guy can hold its own. And maybe I was just doing it wrong because I was playing with Leech Seed. This one is just 3 attacks. 3 attacks with Earth Power there. Kind of cool. Sammy, what are your thoughts?
This set of Venusaur can trade well into the big three because you have EP to do a lot of to Sneasler and King Gambit. You have Giga Drain and you have Giga Drain for Basculegion also. You're bulky natural fairy resist and you can do a lot to float with Sludge Bomb. I think Mega Venusaur is cool. And I say this as a Mega Venusaur hater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
think on this team especially too, because this kind of has the broken shit with Sableye Arch or just Archelon in general, where you're beating all those physical guys, especially with Encore Disable or Will-O-Wisp, or you can even run screens, which I think Cybertron's been doing. So I think this is the idea that like is very, very potent. You're just kind of weak to Floette, and Venusaur helps patch those up a lot. And if you're running a single Mega Venusaur, it's not a double Mega team. You probably need the coverage of Earth Power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the
And
other thing this
the
team
mega of
is
this team is Arcarudo, let's be
it
real.
is.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
was
I'm
gonna say
saying. I'd
Sibird.
run Mega if it got an Assault Vest, bro.
Yeah, right. The Mega Stone is just an assault vest. Uh, yeah, Sableye, a demon supporter in this format. So strong. I mean, it's not like we don't have ways to just dunk it. It does also ultimately only have 380 base stat total, and like 70 of that is attack. But um, it can just stick around and be really annoying with its typing, and it really locks down those weather wars. You know, like instead of having to dance around, when is the Charizard going to Mega? When is the Charizard going to, or when is the T-Tar or Ninetales going to switch in, you can just always have Rain Dance Prankster available pretty much, and just lock things down, set up that rain.
And it's
Yeah.
Sebra is also harder to get, like deceptively harder to get rid of because it's just flat. The other guys, the other special guys are getting wisped. I mean, the other physical guys are getting wisped, so they want to deal as much to your Sableye. And the other special guys are flat, which sure it nukes the poor Sableye. But the other big guy is Charizard. You can rain dance to defend yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Fucking
think Rizzo is
Se-
very.
Zebra is very obnoxious to deal with. The only problem is it doesn't do anything on the field. It can't do a single HP worth of damage.
It can do
Yeah.
six. It's a very delayed 6%.
Yeah,
Yeah, foul play
Raghav.
doesn't seem worth running, honestly. I think
no,
it's
that's true. You have poor move syndrome on this guy, and you want all the support, I think.
Foul play
yeah.
did get buffed though. Foul play did get buffed. Every time I'm running Mega Gengar, I get pissed because foul play does like just over half to me, and I'm just like, can you
31.
stop? I want my minus
Yeah,
attack IV.
I didn't know that. How did it get buff? I didn't know that.
No, it's
It's
just a 31 attack
Oh, okay,
IV.
okay, I got the joke. I got the joke. Sorry,
Yeah.
Oh
guys.
yeah. It's just that you can't run a zero attack IV. Yeah. So it's kind of funny that it does just get to do a little bit more. Yeah, Basque Legion takes a lot um from foul play. So it's not a bad move to run if you can afford it. The problem is that like we are looking at 4 awesome support moves with Prankster, and that's not even where it ends. There's
Yeah, you don't
Quash,
even have the
there's
screens
Fake
yet or the
Out,
quash.
there's Screens, there's like it has one of the best move sets, learn sets in the game for
I
a
think
Prankster
with
Pokemon.
Anchor Disable and Sable, I guess with Anchor Disable, you always have something to do on the field because if you run screens, if you run, for example, Rain Dance screens and some other third move, you find yourself being useless on the field. With Anchor Disable, you always have something useful to
Hmm.
do,
So
I think.
Aaron was running quash to kind of get around that, where it's like at least it's doing something.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
still, Quash is not always useful, I
That's
think.
true.
With Anchor Disable, it's either they went for the good move and you disable them, they went for the bad move and you anchor them.
Yeah.
yeah, and like honestly, the last thing I want to say about it is, you were saying that it can't do any damage, but technically, if it's full health in an end game and it can take one hit, you can encore disable and just force them to struggle. So that is kind of a way to 1v1 something if need be. Um, Now let's see.
You can't do that against King Gambit.
No,
Yeah.
you got to
That's
make
how I
sure
was
that that
leading
one's
it.
covered. All right, the last one here before, because I know we'll have to wrap up somewhat soon. Raghav's got to get going to work. So, yeah, the last team is just this hard trick room one. I honestly have been continuing. It's funny that like is it hard trick room? Not necessarily. There are a lot of elements of Pokemon that can be used outside of it. Fari is the only trick room setter here. And then like this is the thing that I think a lot of the trick room players need to like start to understand. A good amount of them are starting to get this, but like the good trick room megas are not the ones that do really well in trick room, like
Yeah, the best
Crabominable
trick room
and
mega is
Golurk.
Charizard.
Hey, crab
Yes,
is good. Okay, crab is good.
I don't. I mean, you're gonna have to sell me on that one. You're gonna have to convince me through some testing together. Because yeah, I I don't know. I've never been scared of that crab. Um, but Kangaskhan's really cool. Scrappy Fake Out, of course. And then honestly, the coverage is really fun on this one too. They're not even running Sucker Punch, running Ice Punch for like those dragon types that those Sun Mons don't want to see.
Yeah, I played him. It was scary because you had to kind of figure out what the mode was gonna be. Are they just gonna go Kangfari? Are they gonna go for Charizard mode? And I think that that's also a dimension that's really important to have on these Trick Room teams is having like a second really good mode that does the opposite. But the Ice Punch King is very good. It's very scary. Like Garchomp and Charizard usually are able to kind of withstand everything on these Trick Room teams, but Ice Punch made it very tricky.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm,
Yeah,
I'm looking at this
U-turn.
moveset. It almost wouldn't even feel bad to non-mega if you had to as well. Sorry, you were saying
Yeah.
U-turn though?
The U-turn sneezer is really funny. I'm not fully sure I'm like behind that one, but it's kind of cool with the Fargraph like fake out trick room or like U-turn trick room is it's neat.
That is cute. And you can also like get really creative if you know the opponent is going to switch in weather to take the advantage against Charizard. You can swap it and U-turn it back in. That's a
Yeah,
way
that's
to
cool.
really take advantage of that. I guess you have Torkoal as well, though. You have Torkoal. Um, okay, so yeah, there's honestly probably a ton of other cool teams that just didn't quite make it this far, but unfortunately, we are running a little low on time here, so I'll probably have to just cover those in a different stream or something like that. I mean, at this point, you know, a lot of people have probably looked at the results of this one. I've been seeing several people rip these teams and try them out, and I definitely recommend people get out there and try out some of these ideas because the meta is just getting started. You know, we're seeing a lot of
Yeah,
cool directions to go, and they're getting refined, but they're definitely not completely solved or anything. You know, there's still a lot to figure out here.
definitely.
Um,
Yeah, even the Basque region, like the big three, big four teams, whatever you want to call them, they're still it's the best formula of it. It's not already out, and there are a lot of of other teams, of good other teams coming out. For example, Rain, for example, even I believe that the Mega Gengar teams are very good. Also because of Gengar is a weird Pokemon to play against.
It's
mhm.
very difficult. Yeah.
But yeah,
I
a
know.
lot of teams, even our Trick Room is coming out. There is a lot of teams, a lot of stuff you can do in this very limited Pokédex.
Early days, guys. Early days. So keep trying shit out.
It's
Yeah.
it's it's been fun. I've been changing my opinions on things, you know, basically every day. Where I like, you know, 2 days ago I was saying like, don't even bother with that idea. That's dog shit. And then like I realized that I'm just like so wrong, you know, and I love it. I love it.
When
Um,
when Champions came out, I saw Lycos was not being in the game, and I was so happy. Maybe Arcalu don't want to ruin this format, but alas, I was wrong.
chill, chill.
Everybody was saying that Arcaludon was washed. It wasn't him anymore. I hope that
Overcorrection.
It'll
Yeah.
be fine. It'll be
yeah,
fine, Sanvy. It's literally only one got top eight, okay? Like one
All
top
right.
32.
I don't.
Don't
It can be the worst Pokemon on the planet. I still hate playing versus it.
even. All right.
You hit
Before
All right.
we
We have to head out.
yeah, I got you, Raghav. So let me I'll just wrap it up here. So yeah, let's go ahead and yeah, sorry, it's gonna have to be a little bit of a short one, guys, here, just because Raghav's gonna get moving. So Raghav, thank you for joining us.
Of course, it's always a blast to be on Tub Takes. Anything for you, Alex. And
Oh, you
I
know
don't get to talk to Sanvy enough either, so it's my goat right
it.
yeah.
there.
Likewise, love you, bro. Miss you.
Yeah.
Bro,
Sammy's a
get
go.
that word qualification.
I'll get it. I'll get it. Don't worry.
I know, I know. All right, Raghav, I'm catching you later. And then Sanvi as well. Thank you for making it work.
Thank you for
Joining us on
having
this
me.
episode. All right, so I'll figure out who we're gonna throw the raid over to in here in just a second, but I'll just do the real quick closing out notes here. So if you're here now but you didn't catch the beginning, you can find this on Audie's YouTube channel tomorrow. Exclamation point YT in the chat. CK49 over on YouTube is where Audie will be doing this, and then the yeah, I guess I didn't have a. Nah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. Anyways, I was gonna say that yeah, well, I'll be back streaming tomorrow as well, and we'll be doing that 24-hour stream this weekend. So definitely look out for that one. 24-hour, however long, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'm sure that there's some good champions streamers out there right now. So I'm gonna figure out who we're gonna throw the raid over to, and we will see you guys next time. Everybody have a good night. Peace out, peeps. Later.